place across the country and, of course, the global space as well. Be sure to engage us on our platform at GBS TV Africa, and the SMS line is 21144. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Paul Mathenke. Let's kickstart tonight's bulletin. President William Ruto has today asked opposition leader Raila Odinga to refrain from chaotic demos and prepare to face him at the ballot again in 2027. While speaking in Kisii during Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu's Thanksgiving ceremony, Ruto told of Raila over his continuous attempts to frustrate the government, saying there is no room for chaos, adding that no one is above the law. The head of state is in his second day visit of his 3-day working tour in the South Nyanza region. Kabila with the report.
President William Ruto has today asked the opposition leader Raila Odinga to refrain from chaotic demos and prepare to face him again at the ballot in 2027. Speaking in Kisii during Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu's Thanksgiving ceremony, Ruto told of Raila over his continuous attempts to frustrate the government, saying there is no room for chaos, adding that no one is above the law.
Sasa mimi nataka nimwambie mtu wa kitendawili, please. Wewe ni mzee, tungependa sana tukeheshimu, lakini wacha fujo, wacha maandamano, wacha vita, wacha kupiganisha watu. Tafadhali, we want to respect everybody. Lakini mambo ya fujo na maandamano na kupiganisha watu na kuharibu mali ni mambo ambayo hayakubaliki katika society yeyote tukiendekea mbele. We must be a country of the rule of law, and everybody must be held to account. Ama mnasema ati kuna watu wengine wako na leseni ya kuharibu mali ya watu wengine. Si kila mtu jameni afuate sheria. Hata kama wewe ni mrefu ama mnono ama mkubwa ama mdogo, kila mtu afuate nini?
Na nilisikia jana Mheshimiwa Rais, kiongozi tunamheshimu aliyekuwa Prime Minister, akinilundukizia mimi maneno na naibu wa rais ati tunampangia. Na ni kweli tunampangia na tutampangia, sababu wakati mulisafirisha yeye 2017 aliyekuwa rais wetu alifanya yeye political resuscitation.
The president further challenged the Azimio la Umoja coalition leader to face him in person instead of destroying property belonging to ordinary Kenyans.
Madharau bwana. Wacha kudharau wananchi wadogo. Kama uko na maneno, wewe menyana na mimi niko tayari. Na nimemwambia uchaguzi sasa imeisha. Hata usikuje kunipotezea wakati, uchaguzi imeisha. Wewe kama uko na maneno, jipange 2027. Wacha mimi nifanye kazi ya wananchi. Pale 2027 nitakungojea. Na hiyo 2027 sasa ujue nitakuwa nimejipanga mbaya sana. Ndio. Wacha hii. Kwanza hiyo 2027 hata yeye kupata agent peke yake itakuwa kazi ngumu.
The deputy president Gachagua, who was also in the company of the president, dismissed possibilities of a possible handshake, saying that the Kenya Kwanza government can only engage in talks with the opposition if it's about Raila's retirement.
Kama anataka mazungumzo ni mambo mawili. Akuje pale kwa rais, atafute appointment kwa controller of state house, na atakuta mimi nimeketi hapo na notebook. Mambo ya kujadiliana na Raila Odinga is one agenda only: to discuss his exit from Kenyan politics and permanent retirement from this country. Hiyo tutazungumza na yeye. Ya pili, tunamwalika yeye na ndugu yake Uhuru Kenyatta for another discussion. Mali iliporwa the last 3 months of the administration. Ile walichukua 15 billion in 26 minutes. 34 billion ya fuel levy. We can have a discussion with Raila and Uhuru. Hiyo pesa watarudisha siku gani? That is a conversation we can have. And the final conversation is to tell us ile pesa walichukua wakapeleka ya Padora, Cayman's Island, watarudisha lini iinue uchumi wetu. That is a discussion we can have with Raila Odinga, with his handshake brother.
The head of state had earlier said that if Raila had a problem with IEBC servers, he should go and look for them himself. Odinga had listed the opening of the IEBC servers among the demands that must be met for him to call off mass action, which he said on Tuesday will now be held on Mondays and Thursdays. On Thursday, the Azimio leader and his allies said all they want is the truth about the elections and dismissed calls by the clergy for him to hold talks with President William Ruto. He has also called on Ruto to resign and hand over the presidency to him, claiming he won the election and is the rightful holder of the office. The former Prime Minister still insists his victory was stolen with the help of the former IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati. Hilary Kabila, GBS News.
The special needs sector received a major boost after 705 students graduated from the Kenya Institute of Special Education, making a total of 212 teachers with diplomas in special needs education graduates and 493 graduates with certificate in various fields of special needs. The colorful ceremony was presided over by Elias Abdi, Director General, Ministry of Education, State Department of Early Learning and Basic Education, who attended the event on behalf of Honorable Ezekiel Mashagu, Cabinet Secretary of Ministry of Education, and Dr. Norman Kiogora, Director KISE, among others. Here are the details. The Kenya Institute of Special Education held its 28th graduation ceremony on Friday, the 24th of March 2023, at the Institute Graduation Pavilion. 705 students graduated, 212 teachers with diplomas in special needs education graduates, and 493 graduates with certificates in various fields of special needs. Speaking during the ceremony, Dr. Norman Kiogora, Director of the Kenya Institute of Special Education, said the ceremony comes as a great milestone in the special needs sector, as the group of graduates will have a great impact in the special needs areas countrywide.
This graduation ceremony is a great milestone for our graduates, staff, and the Institute Council, since we are now proud of having graduated a total of 34,907 Kenyans with knowledge, skills, and competencies, attitudes, and values that are necessary to provide specialized services to persons with disabilities.
Irene Tinyari, who attended the event on behalf of Chief Executive Officer of the Teacher Service Commission, congratulated the graduates for doing a great job.
I wish to congratulate all the graduates today, and as our lady who spoke before me has said, we recognize that you are indeed special teachers. One will not understand what a special teacher is until you visit the special institutions.
On behalf of Honorable Ezekiel Machagu, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Dr. Elias Abdi, Director General, Ministry of Education, State Department of Early Learning and Basic Education, brought to the table that children with special needs are treated equally with other regular children, and with the introduction of the new competency-based curriculum, they have equally reviewed the curriculum of learners with special needs.
These children are not an afterthought. Anything we provide for the regular students, we also provide them concurrently. So as we have reviewed our competence-based, we are moving now to the competence-based curriculum, we have equally reviewed the curriculum for the children with special needs. So they have their own pathway. You've heard about the primary school level, we offer all the subjects, the Kenyan Sign Language is offered. The subjects like maths, English is adopted to their needs and so on. Our assessment and examinations are equally adopted.
Paul Mathenge, a Distinction Kenya Sign Language Certificate graduate, expressed his passion for studying the course in order to give voice to the deaf people who are often left out in decision-making across the globe. The graduate further called on Kenyan youths to study the course as it is very marketable, as there are not enough sign language interpreters in the country.
The interest. Nilikuwa na hiyo interest ya kujua sign language ili niweze communicate with deaf people, because in population kwa society unapata wengine deaf people, unapata time yenye kunahitajika ku make decision, they are not involved. This course, it's so much marketable because we don't have a lot of interpreters in Kenya. and we need interpreters in court, whether time yenye kuna cases of a deaf person going on in the court. We need interpreters there.
More children living with disabilities are found in families with poor backgrounds and families from minority ethnic groups in African countries, a World Health Organization report has indicated. In Kenya, the number of people suffering from mental health problems and children with special needs has continued to rise, with inadequate information on the effects and impacts of disabilities on the economy said to be complicating the scenario. Kenya Institute of Special Education stakeholders have called upon parents to educate their children with special needs so that they can have a chance to learn and showcase their talents and intelligence.
To look for these children wherever they are. Number two, also to sensitize these parents and communities to ensure that to tell them that even the children with special needs can learn.
In the just concluded graduation ceremony, many graduates could not hide their happiness as they moved from one level of education to another level of education. And here in Kenya Institute of Special Education, they believe that even students with special needs can learn. Beatrice Njeri, GBS News, Nairobi. The High Court in Nairobi has stopped the 50 newly appointed Chief Administrative Secretaries from assuming office or receiving any salary. Justice Edwin Ogundi stated on Friday, March 24th, that the new appointees will only assume office after petition by the Law Society of Kenya challenging their legality is heard and determined. This comes a day after the cast were sworn in at State House, Nairobi, in an event presided over by President William Ruto. The LSK, through its president Eric Theuri, argued that President Ruto acted against the law by increasing the number of CAS slots from the originally recommended 23 to 50. In a late 2022 letter by former head of Public Service Joseph Kenywa, the Public Service Commission was asked to only allow a maximum of 23 CAS positions on March 16. President Ruto, however, unveiled 50 CAS nominees to shock of many Kenyans. The CAS were, even for the court injunction, would have pocketed a total of 39 million Kenya shillings in their first month in office. The Salaries and Remuneration Commission recently reviewed upwards their gross monthly salary from 765,000 to 780,000 Kenya shillings. The other goodies that come with the office is a 10 million car grant and 35 million mortgage.
Of the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Chief Administrative Secretary, that I undertake to hold my office as Chief Administrative Secretary with honor and dignity, that I will be a true and faithful counselor to the President for the good management of the public affairs of the Republic of Kenya, that I will not diverge directly or indirectly such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my
on matter acutely aware that in this service there will be many challenges. You may not know everything. I want to implore upon you to take time to read, to understand, to consult, to ask, and to agree to be informed so that you can serve the people of Kenya better. I did make, in this administration, appointments deliberately across the country because it is our intention.
As the world marks the celebration of World Tuberculosis Day on the 24th of March 2023, at least 40 people who inject drugs are seated under shades outside the Teens Ward Center main building at Ukunda Showground. Teens Ward Center runs an effective drug prevention and treatment program for the thousands of youths in the locality. James Odhiambo with the full report.
The world marks the celebration of World TB Day on the 24th of March 2023. At least 40 people who inject drugs are seated under shades outside the Teens Watch Center at Ukunda Showground. Teens Watch Center runs an effective drug prevention and treatment program for the thousands of youths in the locality. Safia Jatani, a 47-year-old woman, is a recovering drug addict who has battled drug addiction for 19 years. Safia narrates her awful experience as a drug addict, after which she was put under TB medication for 6 months and as well as HIV medication.
Nilikuwa kwenye uraibu kwa muda wa miaka 19. Na muda huo wote nilihangaika sana tu. Hakuna kitu yenye ninaweza hesabu kwa maisha yangu ambayo nimejifaidi nayo kwa hiyo muda yote, isipokuwa hasara na kilio. Hasara, kilio na jela, kwenda jela. Hiyo ndio miadarati kenye imefanya nipitie. Katika huo miadarati nimepitia changamoto nyingi tu sana, mpaka kupigwa na watu, nikienda polisi sipati usaidizi, mpaka nilikuja kujuana na hii shirika la Teens Watch.
Job Rogers is among the peer educators who supply the homeless drug addicts who are TB patients with food and medication every day at their dens. Before he became a peer educator, he was a drug addict for 27 years. In 2020, when he was 44 years old, he decided to quit, and currently Rogers has 3 TB patients that he takes care of daily and supplies them with medicine and food.
My name is Job Rogers. I'm a peer educator at Teens Watch, and I'm a recovering addict, and also I do a community follow-up on TB cases. I'd been an addict for 27 years, and when I reached, I was 24 years, I had TB. That is in 2011, I had TB. And I got many challenges by that time, because in the den there was too much discrimination. So I just managed to live with everything which I faced there. But when I won off the TB treatment, and I still continued using the drugs, then now it's 2 years I've reformed. I'm not using anymore.
Lucy Kimani, alias Queen Sheba, is a celebrity among the Kwale drug addicts. She is currently under the methadone program and a peer educator at Teens Watch.
I'm a recovering addict, and also I'm a peer in Teens Watch Center. Nafanya kazi kama peer, nafanya kupatana na ambao wameadhirika na miadarati, kuwasaidia na pia kuwa follow up. Safari yangu ya miadarati haikuwa rahisi na haitakuwa rahisi juu ni janga ambapo liliingilia, sikuwa najua ambapo itakuja itani affect maisha yangu. Nilikuwa najua just highness ni kitu unatumia na inatoka, lakini kumbe ikakuja ikakuwa disease. Yeah, and it's very cunning and baffling. So through kusaidika na Teens Watch, kunipeleka rehabu, nikapata nafuu, na ndio imenifanya mpaka sasa hivi nisimame. Yeah.
Caroline Omondi, a programs coordinator at Teens Watch Center, said since 2018, they have handled about 35 TB cases among their clients and staff members. Teens Watch has 2 facilities, one for female sex workers and another facility for injective drug users. At the Female Sex Workers Center, they have 3,000 women working with them and 2,065 injecting drug users at the other center. In 2018, they had 10 cases of TB. The following year, 2019, the number went down to 9 cases. In 2020, they had 6 cases. And in 2021 and 2022, they had 5 cases.
The organization Teens Watch Center is an organization that targets key population, who are people who inject drugs, female sex workers, and at times MSM, who are part of the PWID community. Those are people who inject drugs. In this particular facility, we have identified 75 HIV positive cases. And on the FSW side, among the 3,000 FSWs reached, we have identified 122 HIV cases. Within the program, again, we realized that the injecting drug users, female are less. So among them, we have 55. Among the 265, we have 55 injecting drug users.
James Odhiambo, GBS News.
Last evening, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi held discussions with the former Prime Minister of the UK, Tony Blair, in Nairobi. Blair is in the country for individual capacity. He was in the UK PM between 1997 and 2007. Once again, thank you for joining this live broadcast, and do remember to keep the conversation going. The SMS line is 21144 and GBS TV Africa in all our social media handles. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with even more.
If we want better societies, let us be open and willing to offer solutions.
My name is Mary Gaki or Mary Njero.
If you've ever met any video that starts with ladies, that is the man over here.
My name is Wycliffe Ithali. I am a psychologist and counselor.
If you're a believer, be the church. Don't go to church, but be the church.
Someone said that if you want to change the world, mentor a child.
And one thing that I've grown to see, and every day it's happening in our community.
You learn how to communicate because communication is everything.
Boys are brought up in a different way, or to believe things are different from their counterparts who are girls.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. You're still watching GBS News at 9. The SMS line is 21144. And moving on with our bulletin tonight, 2 convicts serving a jail term over the 2015 Garissa University terror attack got relief after the court quashed 2 counts that were sentenced to serve 15 years. Hassan Edin Hassan and Mohammed Abdi Abikar were sentenced to 41 years imprisonment for all the counts. But the High Court has since quashed 2, meaning they will now serve 26 years. This is after the court upheld the conviction and sentence by Chief Magistrate Francis Andaye, meaning the Court of Committing a Terrorism Act. Justice Celia Kithua ruled that she was satisfied the circumstantial evidence by the prosecution left no doubt that the 2 are aware of the said plan and actual perpetrators of the attack. The 2 had argued that the sentence of 41 years was harsh and excessive, but the judge said she was not persuaded that the sentences were harsh and excessive, and given the punishment for these offenses, she find that these sentences were lenient. The 2 were sentenced in 2019 for their role in the 2015 attack that resulted in the death of 148 persons.
Under the Kenyan laws, the outcome of this trial is eagerly awaited in Kenya, where armed men affiliated with the Somali Al-Shabaab attacked the university in North.
The Communications Authorities of Kenya Director General Ezra Chiloba has been barred from blocking TV stations from airing live coverage of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya protest. Katiba Institute has moved to court seeking to have media houses' freedom of expression protected. Justice John Kithiti ruled on Friday, March 24th, that the Katiba Institute petition against the Communications Authority of Kenya raised weighty issues on the alleged violations of media rights. On Wednesday, the 22nd of March, Chiloba wrote to media houses warning of possible consequences if they continue to air what he termed as inciting content. Chiloba said TV stations aired content that was likely to trigger violent behavior. Justice Chigiti directed the CA to file their responses to Katiba Institute within 14 days from Friday, March 24th. Tourism sector has suffered a major blow since the Azimio la Umoja started demonstrations in the country. Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Penina Malonza, has said. Malonza, who spoke at the Masai Mara National Reserve during the launch of the Masai Mara Management Plan, Spatial Plan, and the creator of Masai Mara Ecosystem Plan, regretted that a number of foreigners have cancelled hotel bookings following the recent demonstrations in the country. Malonza was in the company of our Environment and Forestry CS, Soipon Tuya, Narok Governor Patrick Ntutu, and her three principal secretaries, Umi Bashir and John Olutua and Sylvia Kihoro. Governor Ntutu, who is the chairman of Tourism and Wildlife Committee at the Council of Governors, said the demonstrations are a great threat to the tourism in Kenya. He said Narok people depend on tourism for livelihood and the demonstration will affect them economically. The sentiments were echoed by East African Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament David Sankok, Narok East Member of Parliament Ken Koluku, and Narok Deputy Governor Tamlinyi Kewech can call on the Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga to call off the demonstrations for the sake of the economy.
Sababu tunataka nchi yetu iendelee. Nataka kuuliza wale wenzetu, kwa sababu sisi tukiwa East African Legislative Assembly hatuwezi unga mkono maandamano yoyote ambao tumeona inaendelea
kulingana na manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza. Hii maandamano ambayo inapangwa na ule mzee wa enzi zile ambao amepanga maandamano tangu enzi zake akiwa kijana, enzi zake,
ili mtatue shida zenyu, kwa sababu kulingana na sisi hamuna shida, labda mnataka tu uongozi na wakaaji wa Kenya hii wamekataa nyinyi. Hiyo tu ndio shida yenu. Sasa mnatafuta njia ya kando ya kuingia kwa serikali. Hatujali kusaidia mzee, lakini tutasaidia nyinyi wote namna gani? Mpaka mkae hiyo mwaka 5 alafu mkuja baadaye. Msituharibie mabiashara yetu kwa jina ya maandamano.
Ninajua kuna Wakenya ambao wameingia kwa misitu. Na sana sana Mau Forest. Na ningependa kutoa ilani tukiwa hapa Narok County. Na ningeomba KWS Mheshimiwa Governor to enhance our multi-agency team. Wale watu ambao wako kwa misitu.
Mimi ndio waziri wa utalii. Ndugu zanguni, kama kuna mtu amepigwa pigo kubwa na hizi demonstrations naendelea Kenya hii, ni mimi utalii. Wale wa mama tumeajiri kwa utalii. Utalii inaajiri katika watu wane wataajiriwa, mmoja ni wa utalii. Hivyo basi hoteli zetu zimepokea cancellation kutoka Nairobi mpaka nchi yote. Jamani, ninaomba hivi, hizo ni fedha na hao ni ndugu zetu wa mama.
And that news ushers us to matters international news. But first, let's take a quick breather. We'll be right back.
everywhere. GBS.
Welcome back, and now moving to matters international. Gadhi 52 was convicted by a court and sentenced to prison for 2 years in the western state of Gujarat on Thursday after he was found guilty of defamation in connection with a 2019 speech which he referred to thieves as having the surname Modi. Let's take a look.
Gandhi stands disqualified from the membership of Lok Sabha from the date of his conviction, Parliament said in a notice referring to the lower house of Parliament. He made the comment while campaigning ahead of the last general election in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his ruling Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party BJP swept back to power. The court case was filed by a member of Modi's ruling party called Purnesh Modi, who focused on a comment Gandhi made in the 2019 speech when he was referring to two fugitive businessmen, both surnamed Modi, where he asked, how comes all thieves have common surname Modi? The court granted Gandhi bail and suspended the sentence for a month, but under the constitution, a lawmaker convicted by a court stands disqualified from the parliament. Gandhi, the scion of a dynasty that has given India 3 prime ministers, marched across India this year to revive the political fortunes of the Congress. Some of Gandhi's allies say the court ruling was politically motivated. Rahul Gandhi will not stop from asking difficult questions and exposing crony capitalism in this government's active role in promoting and protecting it. He said earlier in the day, Congress party members held protests in different parts of the country against Gandhi's conviction. Jennifer Macau, GBS News.
The United States military carried out multiple airstrikes in eastern Syria against Iran-aligned groups who it blamed for deadly drone attacks that killed a contractor, Ijan Dadada, and wounded 5 U.S. troops on Thursday. Although American forces stationed by Syria have been targeted by drones before, fatalities are extremely rare. Lino Njok with a report.
The attacking drone was Iranian in origin. U.S. Defense Secretary Leonard Austin said the attack targeted groups affiliated with Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps in eastern Syria. Austin said he authorized the retaliatory strike at the direction of U.S. President Joe Biden. As President Joe Biden has made clear, we will take all necessary measures to defend our people and will always respond at a time and place of our choosing. No group will strike U.S. troops with impunity. According to the Syrian Observation for Human Rights, 6 Iranian-backed fighters were killed in the American strike in the eastern city of Deir az-Zor. U.S. forces entered Syria in 2015, backing Allied forces in their fight against the ISIS group. The number of casualties from the Thursday's drone attack is highly unusual, even though attempted attacks against U.S. forces in Syria are very common. Lino Lunjok, GBS News.
Thank you, Lino, for that detailed international news, and that ushers us to our sports news. For the lovers of sports, let's get sporty. But first, let's take a quick breather.
Na kukaribisha tena katika makao makuu yako katika ulimwengu wa michezo.
Yoga is not a sport. Yoga is actually a way of life.
Ukiona FIFA inaingilia kati, it means that the FIFA rules have been violated.
From day one akiingia kwa akademi yako, unamwambia masomo na talent lazima ziende. The moment nasikia masomo imeenda chini, hata time out. Hata in time out kwa football account.
Yeah, wanawake ni wengi actually mpaka saa hizi. Tumekaa ni kama tumekuwa wanawake wamekuwa wengi kuliko wanaume. Kuna wale ambao ni artistic. Yes, wanapenda mambo ya kuigiza.
I'm coded to look for solutions.
You limit yourself, not the sport doesn't limit you.
We say a dedicated women-only show that focuses only on women.
Top striker in the FKF Premier League Benson Omala was peeled off from the 23-man squad that will travel to Tehran on Saturday, a friendly match against Iran national team. Omala is among the 11 players peeled off from the squad by tough-talking Engin Farhat, who seems to consider the foreign players in his squad. Here are the details.
Farhat, a tough-talking Harambee Stars coach, earlier named a 34-man squad that has been training at Kasarani Annex Stadium, awaiting to travel on Sunday to Tehran on a friendly match with Iran national team. Farhat made a few changes this time round by bringing foreign-based players who have not been playing in the national team, whereby he termed them as players who have been grounding on international standards. Farhat termed the players as players who can perform under high pressure and at a bigger capacity. Daniel Onyembe of Viborg FC in Denmark, Skriven of Ilhud in Norway, Mandela of Sandow, South Africa, Joseph Akumu of Gent, Belgium, and Mikael Olunga of Duahil FC are among the top foreign players in the team. With the team awaiting to travel on Sunday, Engin Farhat has named a 23-man squad that will face Iran, and the one that top headlines is the Benson Omala omission. Benson Omala, Gor Mahia top striker, who is the leading top scorer in the FKF Premier League, did not fit in Farhat's squad, whereby.
And now to international sports news, Harry Kane broke Wayne Rooney's record by leading a goal scorer as he helped England win a crucial 2-0 win over Italians yesterday at Stadio Armando Maradona Stadium. On the other hand, France will face Netherlands today at Stade de France in Paris in the first match of Group B Euro 2024 qualification. Here are the details.
Got their first win over Italy since 1961 yesterday when they crushed them at 2-0 at Stadio Armando Maradona Stadium. Harry Kane broke Wayne Rooney's record of the leading England goal scorer as he scored a penalty on the first half. England were better side on the first half with goals from Declan Rice and Harry Kane giving them a 2-0 lead. Italy came back a better side with Argentina-born forward Retegui scoring on the 56th minute. Luke Shaw was sent out on the 80th minute after conceding 2 yellow cards, leaving Southgate's side with a lot of pressure as 10 men, but held the pressure put by the Italians. England stand top at the Group C after the win. Netherlands will face France at the Euro 2024 qualification first match of Group B at Stade de France in Paris. France are ranked on the first on the group, while Netherlands are ranked 5th. Netherlands will be hoping to extend their 20th match unbeaten run, while France, who lost to Argentina on the World Cup final, will be hoping to secure a top spot on the group that comprises of Gibraltar, Republic of Ireland, Greece, France, and Netherlands. France will be led by Mbappe on his first match as the captain and Griezmann as the vice-captain. France will be without Karim Benzema, Rafael Varane, and Hugo Lloris, who return from international actions. On the other hand, Ronald Koeman will be taking his first match as Netherlands coach after succeeding Van Gaal, who returned after World Cup. Georgino Wijnaldum will be returning in international scenes after missing on the World Cup due to a long-term injury. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm MacDonald.
Thank you, MacDonald, for that detailed report, and that marks the end of our news segment tonight. Even as we go through the weekend, do make sure to drive safe, eat safe. And remember, here at GBS News at 9, we make your news our business. And I'm reminded to congratulate one of our sign language interpreters, Paul Mathenge, who did graduate at the Kenya Institute of Special Education with distinction. So congratulations to him and successful days ahead. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Paul Mathenge. Good night.